Okay, so here's the tutorial on how I want you to export your project for turning it in. So if you're done editing and you're all complete, what you need to make sure you have is your timeline panel selected or your sequence icon selected. So if this PCT sequence that I have here is the one that I want to export, then either have that tab open and have the timeline panel selected, or come over here and make sure I have it selected in my project panel. Alright, so this clip is 59 seconds, so it's pretty much the max of what your project should be when you're turning it in. Remember, no longer than a minute. So you're going to have it selected and just going to come up here to File, Export, and choose that top option, Media. So you get your export settings dialog box. One good habit to double check is come down here at the very bottom where you see it says source range. By default, it says sequence in and out, and that's fine if you have in and out points already in your timeline and you're just wanting to export a small segment of your whole sequence using those in and out points. Otherwise, you probably are just wanting to export the entire sequence. So go ahead and check that. And then come over here on the other side where it says export settings. And I want you to export it as a QuickTime. I like MOV files, so you'll see as soon as I change it to QuickTime, this extension here in the file name changed to .mov, so that's what I want. Now you're going to come and choose one of these settings that matches the frame rate that you selected. Okay, so if I'm editing at 24 frames per second, then I could choose this one, or we could go with this HD option, 24 frames per second. And that looks better because I lost the letterbox. So really remember what frame rate you have been editing in. And if you don't remember, let me cancel out of this. Come over here to your sequence and see right here next to my sequence it says frame rate, and I'm editing at 23.9 frames per second. Okay, so we want to export to something similar. So now I'll go back to File, Export Media. You'll notice this time I have my sequence in my project panel selected, so either one will work, the timeline or the sequence icon. I'm going to change this again to entire sequence. Format, QuickTime. Let's do 720p at 24 frames. Okay. The next option is your output name. And this is really important because this is where you change the name of your file and where it's going to export to. So it doesn't look like a menu because there's no drop down arrow, but it is a blue link, so you do need to check it and change it. So just click on that blue link. We're going to rename it. So if it's your project, you could call it Sarah Final Project 1. Nope, not 2. 1. Or however you want to name it, okay? Project 1, and then your last name is fine. Something with your name and the name of the project, okay? Then decide where you're going to save it to. So you have a quick drop-down menu here. Remember, this arrow next to it gives you a larger browser window, so you can save it where you need to. If you're going to save it to your thumb drive, select your thumb drive and save it there. Desktop, whatever. Okay, and then hit save. Now it doesn't automatically start exporting because you have a few more options to look through. You have your export video and export audio check boxes. I didn't delete the audio from the sequence that I'm showing you all, so I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that audio button because remember, for the project parameters, no audio is allowed. It's a silent story. So I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that, and you'll notice my preset switch to custom. Okay, so that's all fine. The rest of this will match the other settings that were already in that preset. So 24 frames per second, 1280 by 720. Quality's fine. H.264 is a good codec for QuickTime. So you're good. And the rest of this you don't have to worry about for now. So really, that's all you need to do, okay? Make sure it says entire sequence. Switch this to QuickTime. Switch this to a setting that matches your frame rate. And if you've already deleted your audio in here, then you don't have to worry about this checkbox, okay? So now when you're done, you just come down here and you hit the export button. And it shouldn't take very long to do. Okay, so I went ahead and canceled it because I don't want to sit there for y'all. But once it finishes, you'll be able to go and navigate to where you saved it to and find it.